Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this one, we are going to overview a hot day in NBA Top Shot. There was office hours, there was controversy, and there was some really good playoff moments as well. Let's get straight into it. All right, so hot take. The Suns could really win the title. I mean, I know that's not that hot take because they're 3-0 up on the MVP team, but I've said a long time ago that the healthiest team will win. The Nets are without Harden, the Nuggets are without Murray, the Jazz are without Conley. I don't see the Bucks getting past the Nets, and Philly, God knows what's happening with Joel Embiid and his leg. So, I mean, they're a chance, they're a side, they've got to be dealt with. Anyway, let's get into some positive news first. Did we see some of these highlights from the Sixers game? Here's Ben Simmons. Oh yeah. I'm hoping these are going to be moments from the next round of playoff moments that we get. And this one, bang. Oh. Surely after this one, you would have to get a new ball. Right, first of all, from the last video, yes, I did get this metric here wrong, or I should say Reggie. Reggie had 18 points for base set Series 2 floor moments. If the floor is $3, then it works out at about 25 cents per cost per point. If the floor was $5, it's even more, 40 cents per cost per point. But at the moment, the floor is $4, so 33 cents as a cost per point, as opposed to what I had it as, which was 22 cents at a cost per point because I had the wrong amount of points. So sorry about that if I misled people. That being said, people are saying, should I go for this hollow icon? Live Token do have a stat about how many collectors are currently got a collector score of 7,500. Currently, it's 5,677. But there are a lot of people who are not far behind at 7,000 or 6,000. You would imagine they would work their way up to this because they are close. Now, there are 2,500 hollow icon packs. So you could really bust your butt just to get a 50% chance at this point, maybe a 1 in 3 chance at this hollow icon point, at this hollow icon pack. If you're going to take a 1 in 2 or 1 in 3 chance at this hollow icon pack, this legendary pack, and you really got to make that difference a lot, then it's not worth it for you. If you were going to take a chance on the next legendary pack, which is going to be the finals pack, that's going to be legendary. Literally, it's going to be the NBA finals moments in Top Shot. If you're really, really gunning to get to this status, take a long-term outlook. Don't go for this one. Slowly work your way up to the legendary. People are still getting their head around the collector score, and we're going to talk a lot about that today. Jon Boy Beats on Twitter has some really good spreadsheets. I do recommend his data and his Substack. You can find a link to that on Twitter. In fact, I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check it out. He has some really good charts like this where you can break down some data and see what's worth it for you. If you're only needing 620 points, go for Minnesota Timberwolves team players. But the other part of that is you might have, for me, for instance, you might have 4 out of 8 Utah Jazz in Series 2. So you can click the link and it will show you all the Series 2 Jazz players, but it won't show you the ones that you're missing. It'll just show you all the Series 2 Jazz players in that set. There is a spreadsheet that you can look at, which is this one. I'll also drop this in the link below. This has been circulating, and it's got a checklist, basically, of all the moments in different series. So there's a checklist for Series 1, Series 2. There's a player list by team checklist. There's a full player list by series, unique players per team, all this data. But to be honest, this is all too confusing. This is the biggest problem with collector score. Though it's a lot fairer than it has been previously, it's too confusing. So I'm really waiting for a really clever programmer or data engineer to make a tool that we can use and punch in our account, and it can say, right, if you just buy 3 moments, you can get 200 points for this team bonus or something like that. Because right now it's very manual and it's very tedious. And there's a lot of clever data analysts and engineers around NBA Top Shot that have built a lot of great tools for us. And I imagine now that we've got this collector score, I'm hoping that something will get built in the very near future. And I'm even hoping that they're hustling to get it for this drop so we can really make informed decisions rather than guessing, getting a team bonus, but it wasn't as much as we thought it would be, and all that sort of stuff. So these are things that I'm hoping for an improvement. That's why I haven't been too I haven't been too active myself. One, because I'm still getting some of my head around it in terms of how it relates to me and my long-term strategy. And also, to be honest, I spend more time making videos about Top Shot and observing the data for you than I do actually trading, buying, and selling in Top Shot myself. That's just the way it's turned out. So I am by no means a whale. My account looks probably pitiful to some people. But anyway, moving on. The controversy of the day really came from Taylor Stein, who wrote this article, Collector Score Bonuses and Bottleneck Boys. The Bottleneck Boys, basically, it indicated that there was a bottleneck in certain players that people are going to need to complete those team sets. For example, the Jazz had Jared Brantley, who was in Series 1, but he doesn't play for the Jazz anymore, and it's a limited edition. There's only like 1,600 of them or something like that. He and others identified clear bottlenecks through the data extraction that would really hinder people completing these team bonuses. But then he found out that Own the Moment had purchased a good 23 of these bottleneck moments more than anyone else. Now, the problem with that is they had a live stream that was pre-recorded with Jacob where they were privy to collector score information 10 hours before everyone else. And usually they live stream. Well, the Twitterverse hit the fan, and basically it got to a point where they had to live stream another reaction and apology to that. At one point they did say the announcement happened at 6:15. They didn't start trading until 6:50. So they did wait half an hour before any transactions happened. But people are still getting their heads around the collector score now. And 10 hours of analysis is a massive amount of advantage to clarify in your mind what you need to do, and especially if you know what bottlenecks are. It is a massive advantage, and they did transact on that advantage. And the best description I heard, I think, was from Chugs and Bugs, is you can't be the broker and the banker at the same time. You've got to be one or the other, and otherwise it's immoral, which I do agree with. Now, I get their point of view in that you got to have skin in the game to advise of the game. You can't talk about push-ups. You have to actually do some push-ups to get some benefit out of it and some experience. They did argue that the analysis could be done in half an hour. I'm not so sure about that. I think we're all still getting our heads around how collector score relates to us and our best move for a collector score, especially if you're chasing Hollow Icon. And even in Taylor's article, it said it took him a good hour to understand the collector score. So at the end of the day, Own the Moment make a really great website and some great tools that we spoke about that we need to understand Top Shot better. Yes, they probably shouldn't have traded on information they had a head start on. My biggest regret is I think that Jacob and Alan and people like that, rather than being on Twitch so much, could be on YouTube. And I would love to have them on, but I don't think I'm quite there yet. I hope that they don't stop being involved with content creators and getting involved in other people's Twitch streams and YouTube channels, because it's really advantageous for us to be able to touch those people and ask them questions. So I hope that doesn't stop in the wake of all of this more than anything else. Own the Moment, they seem to have learned their lesson. They've come out with an apology video. They've come out with their own policies that they're not going to trade on information like that ever again, so on. And, but the blockchain is transparent. Imagine all of your mistakes transparent in your life. You would say I got drunk a lot. Oh man, I got drunk in my teens. All right. If your life was a blockchain, you would have a lot of secrets exposed too. And that's the benefit of the blockchain. Everything is transparent and out there, and you can't hide anything, and that's evident in this whole controversy. But moving on to more positive things, I'm not going to bitch about Own the Moment. They're a content creator, and I wish them nothing but the best because they've got tools that I use all the time. Speaking of which, I'm going to use them right now. Let's look at the playoff challenges. There are two. There is one for Trae Young. Current cost to complete is $298. If you got in early, you could even complete it for half of that at $141. The bottleneck of that one, or at least the highest price one, is RJ Barrett, and slightly behind that, Obi Toppin, which has a couple of badges as well, being that he's a rookie. So there's 4 playoff moments and 4 common base set moments in each challenge. There's going to be 8 challenges. These are the first 2. This one only goes for 3 days in total, so there's only 2 days left, maybe even less by the time you're watching, which is kind of good. It's kind of like the Flash challenges that we spoke about, or it's the closest thing that we've had to it thus far. So that's cool. I like it. Clint Capella, John Collins are the other all-star moments. So all of those will get you the Trae Young reward, and obviously they are all from the New York Atlanta series. The next challenge, which is currently live, is from the Mavs and the Clippers series, with Paul George being the reward. Surely Kawhi should be the reward of this one. That was the best dunk. Or even Luka. Luka is the bottleneck here at $94. Kawhi is $69. Luka is this is one of my favorite moments from this set, the playoff pack. So I'll be looking at this one in the near future. 1,000 people have completed it. Cost to complete is $266. And recently, when it was a dip, it was about $178. But good thing is, the commons are still, like, remember when TJ McConnell was like $5 and then he was $90 at a certain challenge? I forget the exact one. It was one of the Cool Cats, I think. All the commons are still $5 at this point, which is really good in that there hasn't been this massive inflation of those common moments. Yes, these playoff moments might dip after the utility dips, the challenge dips, but at least the market seems a little less volatile in that sense. Time will tell, but that's what I think. One more thing, remember we did shot or not, and you could rate the moments? Well, he's gathered some data and the results are in. So you can browse through all the top overall moments, or you can... Or you can browse just the Duncan Robinson moments, or the top Raptors, the best of commons, the best hidden gems, and the 40K CCs. So let's quickly go through the top 5 moments ever of all time. And number 5 is Vince Carter. Number 4 is this Ja Morant on Aaron Baines. That's the only moment in the Top Shot Aaron Baines. Number 3 is Ja Morant. Another really can dunk that guy. Number 2 is the LeBron Kobe tribute dunk. I mean, fair choice. And number 1 is it's the Durant MGLE, the team play by the Nets. Fair enough. Hey, that's pretty cool how we can look at these moments and assess them on popularity of the moment itself, not market value. So I like it. Okay, there was also an office hours today, and it was with Alan Falcon. Good guy. And he obviously talked a lot today, pretty much exclusively about the collector score. I'm using Jake and Bake NFT's office hours notes again today because I can, basically. Because I can. They are gathering feedback and suggestions on how to improve collector score. Serial numbers and badges are factors they are considering. So some people like to get lower serial numbers or even trade up to those serial numbers, and badges aren't really a factor. A lot of people are talking about Top Shot debut moments. They should be perhaps better points for those. They envision collector score will eventually be broken down into subcategories. Example, you'll have a total collector score and a Laker collector score, and that will be able for you to show off your fandom. You know, if you love the Raptors or the Timberwolves, and I'm sorry I gave them shit in the last video, but I could get behind D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Edwards. I've just never really loved the franchise's choices, and I've never really loved Karl Anthony Towns. So I'll stop ribbing on them if I can. No promises, but I'll try. But you could really show off your fandom by having a collector score for that team and so on. And especially that might have utility in future at games and things like that. You can say, hey, this guy is premium platinum Golden State Warrior collector score 1 million. So, things like that can happen. Right now, collector score and the access it gives you to the packs is a blunt tool. They will continue to make adjustments. We know this. I think that was sort of a overstated term. It's come a long way. I mean, it's a lot better than, you need own 15 moments and marketplace spend of X. It's much more dynamic. The problem is it's much more confusing. And it will tweak as we go, because we're constantly giving Top Shot feedback. And, hey, what about these people that collect this way? And it's important for them to hear that. So share it if you have that sort of information. Plan is to update the collector score displayed on your profile at least once a day leading up to the Holo Icon pack, which is good. They take a snapshot every day and it uploads. They want to aim for twice a day coming up, and eventually they'd love it to be after every transaction, so it's kind of live, hence a live collector score. Unopened pack receiving 0 collector score is an intentional decision by the team. They see holding packs as a trade-off to receiving collector score from moments inside. Unopened packs in the marketplace won't be coming anytime soon. So we know that that is coming, but we just don't know when. So all you pack holders, you'll have to wait. Giving users an array of options to increase their collector score is one of the goals in the new collector score bonuses. If you complete a challenge, you'll still receive the challenge completion bonus if you sell that challenge reward, but you buy a different serial number of that same moment. So the reasoning behind that was, let's say you did this Trae Young challenge and you got serial number 5,000 out of 5,000. And you have a strict policy of yourself of having 2 or 3 digit serial numbers. So you sold one to get the other. You would still get that collector score bonus because you did the challenge, and you can only do that once, but you did the challenge, so you get the points for that. And you still hold that reward moments. You just trade it up for a different serial. So I like that. I mean, that's fair. If you complete a full set, you will not get a bonus on multiples of the same moment in that set. Now, I know this was asked of me as well as people in the community because a lot of people stack moments. And it was even expanded to the extent where people that stack their favorite moments, maybe they should have a threshold. And they use the Cody Zeller example. Arsenic stacks, I don't know how many he's got now, a lot of Cody Zellers. He's trying to get them all. I think he's trying to get 4,000 of them or something like that. So should there be a threshold if you have 50 or 100 or whatever of a certain moment, that probably should give you a collector score boost of having so many and being a loyal collector of that moment. So I think that's a fair argument to have as well. What the thresholds would be and what they would look like and what would be fair, no idea. But I like the idea of rewarding people who stack their favorite moments of their favorite players because it's a form of collecting. If you collect all players on a team, then you will get a bonus on multiples of the same moment that you earn. Example, if you have every player on the Lakers and 4 different serials of the LeBron no-look three-pointer, then you'll get a team bonus for all 4 of those moments. The All-Star team does not count as a team bonus because it's not a franchise, it's not a team, it was just the All-Star game. So that they don't count as a team bonus. They created a spreadsheet checklist for players of each team in S1 and S2. And that's what I just showed you before, this spreadsheet here, which has all the moments for S1 and S2. It's been going around and I'll link it in the description below for you. So that is all the news in a hot day of NBA Top Shot. Let me know your thoughts. Remember, the giveaway is still alive. I haven't been openly promoting it to heaps and heaps of people, but I will at this stage of the video because if you're still here, you are a loyal collector of my videos. So your collector score is valuable to me. That's a terrible metaphor, but if you got any value out of this video and you are not subscribed, please consider doing so. We do lots and lots of videos here with positive vibes and or like this video as well. And I will see you in the very near future. Have a good day. See ya.